Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. My name is Adam, this is PCP Media. Right now, I am livid. And I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so, and I take no pleasure in saying that. Last week, there was a massive gun rights demonstration in Richmond, Virginia, at the Capitol building during Lobby Day. And tens of thousands of people showed up to voice their displeasure at the laws that were being proposed by the Virginia State Legislature. Well, just a few hours ago, 7 measures passed that will not do a damned thing to stop or reduce violent crime. But what we do have is some massive and flagrant, just total, just complete nonsense that is not going to stand up to scrutiny if it goes to the Supreme Court. If these things can get challenged and taken to the Supreme Court, or we have to hope that in 2020, Republicans take back the state legislature, and that in 2022, Governor Blackface, Klansman, keep them comfortable, is removed from office because they want, right now, the Virginia governor can only serve 1 4-year term, and they do want to change things where a governor can serve 2 terms. We do not need him to get elected. Now, so what has happened? What was passed that has me so amped and so pissed off, and why I am making this video today? So I'm going to scroll through a story I have up that came from ABC 13 News. Here is what they passed. They passed universal background checks. So they are now going to have a state background check system that will reduce the ability of you to be able to get your gun in a expedient manner, which is just annoying. Also, that means that no more private sales, which is annoying. Now, under current federal law, if you know someone is a felon, you cannot sell them a firearm. You can't do that, even as a private person, okay? Federal, no. But they have passed a state law to do so, or a state law that actually requires background checks on any gun purchase. But guess what? No bad guy is going to follow that, because bad guys don't follow the law. Therefore, only law-abiding citizens are going to get screwed by this. Imagine that. Next, red flag laws. So, hey, let's get rid of something called due process, something that is a right that is recognized and protected by the United States Constitution. We'll just throw that out the window as well. Allows localities to regulate guns. So, what they're actually doing is they have passed this law to say that local communities can make even more draconian laws of their own. Mandate reporting of lost stolen guns. So if you have misplaced a gun or has been stolen, you now have to report that. What if you do not know that said firearm was stolen from you and then it gets used in a crime? That can happen. I mean, you go, oh, we need to keep all your guns locked up, yada, yada. Yes, I get what you're saying, but what if, just God forbid, someone who does have access to your firearms that you know, love, and trust, what if they were to lose their mind, go crazy, and decide that they are going to steal your gun and then use it in a crime? Well, now you will be on the hook for their evil actions and intents. And that is just ridiculous. That is insane. I mean, think about this. Imagine this. You got imagine an old man. He's just got several handguns and some hunting rifles. Not even like a real gun advocate like we are. Just, I support Second Amendment, and I went hunting all my life, and I got a few pea-shooters, but now he's old, and he's senile, maybe in the retirement home. And his son is actually just a crackhead shitbird, okay? So now he goes into daddy's house and finds his firearms, steals them, and then goes and commits a crime. All because of, the old man is in the home, and this is a perfectly plausible story. And now we got a senile old man who's going to get thrown in jail, not even know where he probably is, because of laws like this. One handgun a month rule. So yes, this makes perfect sense. This is not disrespectful to the Second Amendment whatsoever, that you can only get one handgun a month. And that is just this arbitrary BS of trying to restrict your right to buy firearms. That simple. One handgun a month. What type of BS is that? Think about how many people may go online and you can get some classic gun comes up. I got a Star BM last year. I'm still meaning to do a review on, guys, for about $200. At a deal like that, I mean, maybe I should have picked up a couple. And people do that all the time as collectors, and now they can't do that. Hi, River. Dog's down there. Prohibiting child access to firearms. Well, this sounds real good, except let's think about it like this. What if you simply are, mom and dad are going out in town, and Jimmy, who is actually 17 years old, he has been trained in proper firearms handling. He has grown up around firearms, whether it's hunting, whether it's recreational shooting, and even self-defense, basic training type things, that you can go learn. Well, if you leave a rifle or handgun around the house for home protection, and the house gets broken into, and Jimmy needs to protect himself, and he uses said firearm, well, now Jimmy is gotten mommy and daddy in trouble for just protecting the home, because that makes perfect sense. And guess what? I could easily spend a few minutes on Google, and I guarantee you I could probably find story after story after story where we could find where minors have had to use firearms to protect themselves. I mean, God, obviously that is a horrible situation. You never want a minor to have to use a firearm and take someone's life. Even as an adult, I would never wish someone have to find out the experience of taking someone else's life. But the reality is there are bad people out there who are intent on doing harm. And guess what? Sometimes you have to kill somebody. You have to use violence to protect your own life, or protect other people's lives. That is not a good law, even if to most people that might sound perfectly reasonable. Obviously, a 6-year-old should not be able to get a hold of daddy's gun and have an ND and kill himself, which is actually how a lot of firearms deaths happen, which is why the .22 kills more people than pretty much any other round, mostly because of silly crap like that should not happen. But I digress. Disarming domestic abusers. Okay, well, what we have to be careful here, though, is define domestic abuse. You can say, okay, it's violent abuse, physically beating on a woman, but there's always a slippery slope there of how you can change your definitions of what abuse is. And quite frankly, what scares me about this is if that is not felony level crimes, then you really have a problem if you're taking away someone's rights to bear arms when they are not felons. This is just rife for abuse. All right. So with all of these said, with all of these terrible laws, elections have consequences, and I think the people of Virginia are now understanding that, because you have a very conservative community which is basically overwhelmingly, Virginia is probably one of the most conservative states you can find. But guess what? If you do not stay vigilant and you don't vote right, or you don't vote, this is what you get. It always, here's another thing about freedom. It takes an irate minority to maintain it. Because the majority will always, always choose to restrict freedoms, especially when you package it in a way that sounds good. I mean, hell, right now, Bernie Sanders is looking like he may win the nomination again before the DNC steals it from him again. But when people are promised free things, when people are sold these comfortable lies or mistruths, are told we can make you safer by just giving up a little bit of your security, they are lying. This rant has gone on way entirely too long, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. If you like this content, hit the subscribe. If you've already subscribed, hit the like button. Share this with others. Let's grow PCP Media. 1,000 subscribers. Deuces.